This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey! Hey, this is the Ramble. This is Alex. We go until midnight tonight. And a very good evening to all of you. How are you? All across the United States of America and around the world and across the nation and up your street and whatever. Anyway, it's time for us to go and check in with our panel, but we don't have a panel yet, okay? What we have is one individual, one sloppy little individual that we like to talk to every now and then. So let me just admit him now. And let me see here. There he is. Let me bring him in. There's Phil Meyer. Hello, Phil.
Hey, Big Al, the kitty's pal.
What is that, your background?
Oh, that's the background or the YouTube thing?
The background.
Oh, what's that big church, Catholic church on California Street in Nob Hill?
It's the Nob Hill Catholic Church, I guess.
Well, this was a shot taken up at the ceiling, and there was a ton of these ribbons that were hanging from the ceiling. It was an art exhibit.
Okay.
So I figured it made me look holy. And
then I noticed you have a new monitor over in back of you.
Oh, that's just an iPad.
Oh, that's an iPad. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't need that actually.
What do you have that on, some kind of holder or something?
Yeah, I have a stand. Here, I'll turn this off.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to turn it off, but
yeah. I have a stand that holds the iPad.
Why?
I use it for work. I have this program that I'm learning how to use. I can bring it into a room, use my laser measurer, and put the measurements on there, and it draws a floor plan.
Oh, okay.
And then figures out the quantities and tells you how many feet of baseboard is in a room and all of that stuff. It's pretty interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. So guess what's happened in California?
No masks.
Right. But what are the people doing? You see, they do this whether they need it or not. Yesterday, of course, if you didn't wear a mask, they'd beat you up. Today, you don't have to wear a mask. But the interesting thing is, I went to Whole Foods this afternoon to get a sandwich for lunch. People were wearing masks. I went to the bank. I checked, people were wearing masks. Went to Walgreens, people wearing masks. They don't have to wear masks. They don't have to social distance. They don't have to go into a restaurant at 25.
They don't have to, but they're making a choice to, and that's fine too, isn't it?
I don't think it's a choice. I think it's fear. I think what's happening
No. People...
Look at it this way. Have you ever seen a guy that's been locked up in a prison for 10, 15 years, and then they let him out, and they don't know what to do with this newfound freedom? And I think that's what's happening here. People are afraid to make the jump to no mask.
I don't think that's the case. I think that people are still playing it safe, some people, but you have the right to do that. Listen, I think we should wear masks throughout the year when we get a cold or during the winter when it's flu season. I go to other countries and they wear masks in all those countries, and not for COVID.
But that's reasonable. Right now it's 80, 90 degrees here. And, I think...
Well, they just did away with the mask mandate in California. Maybe a little too early for California. We today did away with everything.
Yeah, so did we.
We did away with everything. No rules on theaters, gymnasiums, things like that. Okay, and the reason being that we hit 70% vaccinations,
Wow.
which you haven't yet.
Only San Francisco.
San Francisco has reached that.
Alan wrote me. He said it's Grace Cathedral.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that, by the way, was the place where Dan White ran to after
Really?
he killed Moscone and Milk. Yeah,
He didn't go to his potato
they
store.
went to Grace Cathedral, and that's where they caught him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have figured he went to his potato store on Pier 39.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to what we were saying. So what we've done is, because we are now 90%, I guess, we're 70% rather, vaccinated. That's considered by the CDC herd immunity, and so our governor decided to do two things. Number one, to just open up the state completely. All right, and tonight a big fireworks display celebrating the end of our COVID.
Your lockdown.
Now, we are the number one least infected state. We have the highest, the lowest, what do you call it, infection rate in the country. Number two is, number two, I think, is New Jersey. But way down is like Connecticut is not doing that well. Okay.
Well, I know some of the southern states are getting more infections. Charlie wrote today there was 300 and something deaths. Now that's a lot fewer, and that's
335 deaths is still 335 too many.
Well, yeah, but you have that many from eating McDonald's. No,
Phil. I mean, we're talking about deaths from COVID. Okay, yes, there are deaths from other things, but from COVID, this thing which we'd like to completely eradicate. We had a thing in this country once called polio, and we got the polio vaccine, and then in the whole world, we got to a point where there wasn't a single case of polio.
It's coming back, isn't it?
No, it did come back, but we nipped it in the bud.
Eradicated it.
Yeah.
Well, what the other ones that are coming back? It starts with a T. Tuberculosis. That's one that seems to be rearing.
Yeah,
its
but
head.
Tuberculosis is very curable now.
Yeah.
We have all the all the stuff to take care of it, and the drugs and so on. So that's.
Yeah, behind me is Brian's car.
Okay, fine. Do I care?
Of course you do. It's for sale. Maybe you need a car.
No way I'm getting a car. I don't know if I'm even going to drive ever again.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I can drive again. It's been so long since I've driven that I have this great fear that if I got behind the wheel of a car, I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, isn't that same?
And then I'm always feeling tired these days.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid of getting behind the wheel of the car and being a little woozy.
I think the tiredness is stress from being locked up for a year and a half.
It could be, but I mean, I go out, I walk every day. Today I did another 2 miles.
Yeah.
I did 3 miles.
That's good. It's still, you have the year and a half of confinement that you have to get past.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And some walks in the park.
Part of it might be all that stuff they did to the prostate and whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But I'm just tired all the time. I just can't stop it, and so I don't know.
Yeah.
And I take these pills that make me wonky the next day, these pregabalins, but when I don't take them the next day, I'm just the same way, only more so, and I think that's me coming down off the pregabalin.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be better off taking the pregabalin constantly, But enough of me and my medical problems.
Hey, how's your hands feel?
My hands are okay. I've been using that stuff a little bit, not a lot. I do it when I'm sitting here.
I'm on the blue.
You're on the blue. See, they come in different colors, folks. This is the yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, this is the blue.
And what you do is you take the yellow. Okay. Gee, there we go. The yellow. and then you pull it out, and you start just doing this. And I've got some problems with arthritis right here, which my doctor said is the most common place that people get arthritis.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
And so then we just do that a lot, and I find it's okay. I haven't gone up to the higher strength yet because I'm just fine with this strength so far.
Well, the interesting thing is
This is old people. This is really old people podcasting.
I had some.
Here, this is for our arthritis, and we're taking this to help it. Yeah.
My hands were kind of weak. My fingers, my grip was getting weak. And the interesting thing is, tonight I went over to happy hour over at Ruth's Chris because Faye's out of town, and I got to feed myself.
Yeah.
And so I had some calamari and some ahi tuna, and they have these half lemons.
Mm-hmm.
And so I picked the lemon up and I squeezed that thing, and I just turned it into an olive. It was, my hand strength has improved.
Oh, it has improved. Your hand strength has improved through this?
Yes, absolutely.
Come on. And then I like putting it back in its little thing like that, and then if it just sits there, it just kind of goes back into being just a bunch of it in there. A little bit later, I'll pull it out and you'll see it. It happens. It goes back to its old shape.
The blue is so strong that if you let it go down to the bottom, it's difficult to get out. So I actually put it on its side so I have a place to grip it. And but this stuff's been godsend.
But anyway, so out in California, you guys are not. You don't have to have masks anymore.
No.
The other day, this happened to me the other day. I think it was on Sunday. I went into my supermarket, and I just walked in, was walking around. All of a sudden, I realized I didn't put my mask on.
Yeah.
That I was so used to now walking around without a mask outdoors, I just walked right into the supermarket and didn't think, hey, and I do carry a mask with me at all times because you might go somewhere where you gotta,
Yeah. Public transportation, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But did anyone say anything to you about the mask?
No, nobody said anything to me.
Yeah.
But then I looked at people around me and I went, oh, they're all wearing masks. Oh, I don't have my mask on.
Right, exactly.
Marjorie said she did it the other day on the bus. She forgot to put it on the bus. Because
but on the bus in California, any form of public transport, including airplanes, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Now, I just booked a flight to Denver. This will be, I think it's my first flight since COVID. And I have to go for a carpet convention.
Oh, that must be great.
Oh, it's going to be exciting.
What kind of hookers show up for a carpet convention?
Curved needle hookers, when they. But they keep you for 3 days in a hermetically sealed environment. You don't get out. They keep the room cold so you don't fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. Where is this, in Denver?
Yeah.
How's COVID in Denver right now?
Well, I don't know, but this is at the.
See, I don't know. Like Marjorie would like to go on a vacation, would like to go to Europe, and I said, "Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Where is it safe right now?"
What about Israel?
Huh?
Israel's.
Oh yeah, I never, never in my life did I ever want to go to Israel.
I do.
That is not my idea of a good time.
I actually would like to go and see it. I think it could be pretty interesting.
I'd be there with a bunch of Jews, okay?
Oh, and Arabs,
and not really Jews. The Israelis. There's a difference.
Yeah,
Israelis are very obnoxious human beings, and very self-absorbed.
Well, if you were challenged for your future, if you were constantly under attack, you'd be a little aggressive too.
Yeah, that's why the Black Lives Matter movement exists.
Why?
For that reason.
No, I thought it exists so that woman who owns it can buy 4 houses in
No,
LA.
there isn't a woman who owns it.
Yeah, she's the.
She started it, but she doesn't own it.
So how come she ended up with all the money?
Is she going to sue people if they say Black Lives Matter and put it on a poster?
Yes,
She is?
probably copyrighted.
No, you don't know that.
And
You
know,
don't know that. You're making claims that aren't true.
I go to all of these people's homes and I see the poster Black Lives Matter in their window. They've got a placard out on their lawn, and you know why they put them there? Fear. They don't want their windows broken. They want they fear what maybe happened in Minneapolis to that attorney and his wife. When the marchers went past their house and decided that they were going to go in there and intimidate them. And
Yeah,
so
because this happens all the time, right, Phil?
it
This
happens.
is constant thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
What
one
you do
time-
is you pull out one incident and then you make a big deal out of that.
How about Portland and Seattle?
What about Portland and Seattle?
That was a friendly riot.
Seattle, Portland would have been just fine if Trump hadn't sent troops in there. It was a decent demonstration. It was peaceful. It was nonviolent, and he turned it into a violent confrontation.
You drinking the Kool-Aid?
You bet your life I am drinking that Kool-Aid.
Did you see the pictures of the people with the Molotov cocktails walking around with AK-47?
The Molotov cocktails? What's a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah, they were throwing, burning things down. All the businesses that got burned down and looted.
Oh, yeah.
That was Trump's fault.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
Yeah,
In fact,
okay.
the authorities in Portland said it was Trump's fault for moving the troops in. That caused an escalation in the situation.
Oh, it's Trump's fault that you got to put gas in your car.
Listen, I don't give a diddly fuck about what is Trump's fault and what isn't Trump's fault, because Trump isn't president anymore. So
Yeah, but
in that respect, I don't really care.
Well, you may not care, but you can't blame him for the kinds of things that went on, and they're still going on.
Of course.
Every opportunity for a riot seems to, burn down people's homes, burn down their businesses,
Yeah.
their livelihood.
Yeah.
It's like Watts all over again.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. It's Watts all over again. Watts to begin with was people burning down their own neighborhood, Phil.
And these these are outside agitators then, or are these people burning down their own neighborhood?
These aren't people. What neighborhoods are burning down? Tell me what are burned down.
Is it Minneapolis? And there's been a ton of neighborhoods that have burned down.
Believe me, what went on in Minneapolis was not really as bad as it could have been. You know, considering the situation.
As bad as it could have been, and that's okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, but blame people who are a little bit pissed off because somebody got choked to death.
Yeah.
By a cop.
So when somebody gets shot by someone of their own race, that they don't get upset about.
They get upset about. Wait a minute, Phil. How can you say they don't get upset about it? Of course, they're upset about that as well. Of course, they are.
They only crawl out of their cocoon when it's a cop that does it, because they figure the police department and the cities are have deep pockets. But if you look at black on black crime, for instance, that's where the majority of black people get killed, is in their own neighborhoods by their own similar race. So how can you blame the cops?
Give me the statistics on that, Phil.
I'll get them for you.
Would you get them for me? I'm sure you will. You'll find them somewhere.
Well, I've seen them.
Yes, the fact is that there is a lot of crime in the ghetto areas, which are poor areas. I mean, none of this do you rest at the lap of poverty. Okay. Let me finish, Phil. You don't say anything about poverty. That the great problem and the reason people are sometimes kill each other off is they live in neighborhoods of great poverty. and it's part of the frustration of putting up with that poverty and the pain of that poverty. What we don't do is we try to say this is a black-white issue. This is a lot of different issues, but we don't try to say it's a poverty issue. And we need to attend it more in that way than we have.
Have you seen communities that were impoverished, but they still kept their crime low?
No.
I'll tell you one. I lived in Miami in the early 70s, going to school, and I can tell you that the Cuban community
fuck the Cuban community.
Yeah, but they had
the Cuban community. The Cuban community are right wingers. Okay? Yeah. They're right wingers, and they didn't stop any crime down there. The Cubans brought crime in there.
The Cubans after the Muriel boat lift, which was all Carter's doing.
It's not the Muriel boat lift. That was that was when they brought in a bunch of cigars.
Tiparillos.
Muriels.
Muriels. Anyway, you know what I did with your friend Alan yesterday, and Paul from who writes on the show and so forth. We all went to
Paul, who writes on the show. Paul, who writes on the show.
Yeah, Paul Jung. He writes on your chat. He's a very nice guy. I don't know if he's on the chat now, but he writes on a regular basis. So anyway, we all went to Ruth Chris.
I don't know why you go to that piece of shit place to eat.
Oh, I love it there. And Alan brought a really good bottle of Bordeaux. And so we had that, and then we went around the corner to the cigar store, and we were on the patio, and we were all smoking cigars.
So it was you, Alan, and who?
Paul and 3 other guys.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How many of you are overweight?
Alan and me.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you should have been eating at Ruth.
I had the ahi tuna. And let's see what else I had. Oh, I had the steak sandwich without the bread. I had them bring it out with lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to lose weight. Matter of fact, now that the gyms have reopened,
in the fucking ocean. What?
Yeah, what? Now that the gyms have reopened 100%, I've been looking into this place called Diablo Barbell, and what it is it's expensive, but they deal with your nutrition. It's like a daily thing where you go there, you have an appointment. The person that works you out is a chiropractor, and I think it might be a good idea, but it's expensive.
Take that money off the background there.
You don't.
No, it's illegal.
I'm like a $2 bill.
No, it's illegal.
Yeah, all right. So I don't think you could see any of the things.
It's illegal to post photographs of money.
Oh, let me find it. Preferences. Oh, also, you know what happened? My laptop computer has been crashing, and so what's been going on is I took it into this place today. Mm-hmm. And they said, oh, well, the reason it's crashing is it's not that it's malware. It's the video board. And so it's a really old MacBook Pro, 2010. Mm-hmm. And they said
2010? That's an old MacBook Pro?
Yeah.
Oh, 2010. Okay.
Yeah. So they told me that it's not worth fixing. I use it for stuff. Even though High Sierra is where I'm stuck.
Well, Marjorie's thinking of getting herself a new iPad because she doesn't like hers and she wants a new one, and her company will buy it for her. So
this one's.
But I won't. I'm not going to buy one because the only reason I use my iPad, believe it or not, the only thing I use it for is playing crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
That's it. I keep it in the toilet and I do crossword puzzles while I'm on the can.
9 is too big.
What?
The 12.9 screen, that one that.
Oh, you don't want that. That's too big. Yeah.
It's too big. I'm thinking that, and I've had it a while, but I'm thinking that maybe just using this program on it and using it on the stand, it's not so bad. but if you want to hold it, and it's just too big. I think the 10 or 11, 10 point something is the way to go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. So what else is new in your life? Anything?
Well, other than feasting at Ruth Chris, and since Faye's out of town for 3 days, if I want to eat, that's where I have to go.
We can bring in the hookers.
Really? Nah, it's only good for peeing. So,
It's only good for peeing. So what are you using for a green screen now?
the same thing that I had before.
The cloth?
The cloth, and it's on a frame. I'd like what you have. I think that's
What I have is terrific because it just up and down. That's it. I don't like here's all I have to do to bring it down. Okay?
Does
To
it
bring
stay
up,
on the
I do
floor?
that. Yeah. What?
Does it stay on the floor, or do you tilt it out of the way?
It stay. I keep it on the floor in back of me. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Friday night I put it back. Put it against the wall.
Not worried that you're going to trip over it or something?
No. If I trip over it, it just goes thunk.
Yeah. Oh, it's you go thunk.
Yeah.
I
go fuck.
Especially if you're not wearing shoes.
But what else is going on in the world? Well, your boy Netanyahu's out,
Yeah, one vote.
but he's
one vote.
pulling a what do you call it? I should get rid of this here, right there. Okay.
Netanyahu says that he got ripped off.
Yeah, I know Netanyahu's pulling a Trump.
Yeah, that he is pulling. Hey, the other people put together a coalition. He had the same chance to put together a coalition, and he lost by one vote.
Yeah, I think he's a piece of shit. So I'm glad he's out of there.
Well, we'll see what your brother is going to do.
My brother. Oh, you mean Bennett?
Yeah, what's it, Natalie Bennett?
Natalie Bennett or something like that.
Yeah. Now I understand he's real right wing, maybe even more right wing than Netanyahu.
Yeah, but Netanyahu had a problem. You know what the problem Netanyahu had is the problem that a lot of people have.
Took cigars.
When they're in office too long, they get a sense of ownership.
Yeah.
And really, I think two terms. That's it. You're in. You're out. Okay. I don't even like the fact that Cuomo's going for what, a third term, fourth term, something like that here.
You think he's going to get elected?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have no doubt about it.
When they start marching the bodies by the debate stage.
Well, no, believe me, Cuomo will win. Because in spite of anything, we still love him.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So there's talking about elections. What's going on in New York? There's a police captain from Brooklyn, a black police captain that's running. I forget his name, but I understand he's a pretty good guy, and he may clean up. He may clean up the city again. They really need somebody like him.
What do you mean they may clean up the city?
Well, when you go downstairs, are homeless in? Is there a homeless encampment in front of your building?
Not anymore. No, there was for a short time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is in every city. Come on, San Francisco, you've got a major problem there with homeless encampments.
Yeah, I know, but your building is basically private property, and you
not when you get out onto the street.
Yeah,
on the sidewalk. I mean, the encampment isn't in our courtyard.
So why are these encampments popping up?
Well, part of the reason why people wound up on the streets in New York was because they chased them out of the subways during the pandemic, so they could clean them up and keep them clean. And
there's that many homeless in the subway?
Oh, at night, if you went in there, I understand at midnight, it's like it's like a motel.
Wow.
It's a real problem. It's a real
but
problem.
Oakland and San Francisco is not a subway-driven.
No, but your people are out on the street. There are whole homeless encampments all over California.
Yeah. Now, the homeless didn't get COVID.
They didn't?
No.
Are you sure about that, Phil?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you 100% sure about that little factoid of yours?
Yeah, yeah.
You're wrong, Phil.
Sure that there's
Wrong,
no
Phil.
COVID, and during the initial thing, like in January, I had to be in downtown San Francisco for a job I was doing. I did the fourth floor at Saks Fifth Avenue, and so Union Square was completely devoid of traffic, people. It was a ghost town at noon. It was a ghost town.
Yeah.
But if you walked around the corner to where what's his name, the guy that calls your show lives on in the Tenderloin, there it was bustling and people were walking all over the place and nobody was wearing a mask.
Hey, listen, we've run out of time here. These people want to talk,
Yeah.
and they don't want you to blab on. So,
That's the way it goes.
we'll do it again next week. How's that?
Enjoy.
If I'm still doing the show next week,
Yeah, really.
But,
Yeah, well, feel good. Get some energy.
Yeah.
Maybe check your vitamin B. See if that's maybe you're deficient. Get a blood test.
Yeah.
And see if that's what's going on. Why you're so tired.
That could be. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there goes Phil. Thank you, Phil. Bye. Okay, there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's Phil Meyer, and he is doing his best to always piss us off. Okay. But I was at a disadvantage tonight because I'm a little on the tired side, so I didn't want to get into a big argument and to have to be extra intelligent tonight. Anyway,
You did that well.
Huh?
Not being you did that well, not being extra intelligent today.
no, I'm just I've just been tired lately, and I'm still tired. So when I'm really tired, I find it hard to get into a major discussion with him. But anyway, because he starts pulling out all these facts out of his ass, which aren't even true. So
Nope, not even close.
not even close. Have you heard that homeless people don't get COVID?
No, that is
No.
not true.
I know of course it's not true. And if it were true, then I'd become homeless just so I wouldn't get COVID. I mean, come on.
Phil's a riot.
Yeah, Phil is. But move your camera. Let's see your whole
really
face
is.
there, Jeffrey. Let's see your whole face. Move your camera.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. What are you
Handsome.
Amazing. His face and audio.
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah, and he
At the
did
same
them
time,
all
that's
tonight without any problem. Anyway, hello, Brian Neary. How are you?
Good. Busy.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, and Alan, you went out for steak with
Paul Young, several other gentlemen,
yeah.
Bill, and myself. Yeah, we went to Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Walnut Creek.
Their steaks are pretty expensive, aren't they?
It's only money.
What do you mean it's only money?
It's only money, We had cocktails, then we had steaks for dinner, and it's all prime beef. It's good stuff. And Phil brought a bottle of wine, and I brought a 1981 Bordeaux.
Yeah.
They've been saving up all year. They haven't gone out for a year. Got some money there.
Yeah, really. You got to have some money, Alex. You're not paying rent either.
Well, we will be soon. So
Okay.
I mean,
But anyhow,
everything's back. Everything's back and working here in New York, including the courtroom. So, we're back to that. So that's interesting. Isn't anybody else going to call tonight? Is this it? Okay. This is it.
Thank you.
Hey, that couple in Missouri that came out with their guns as Black Lives Matter protesters, they were just walking by their house down the street. They weren't even interested in their house.
Right.
They were going to protest in front of the mayor's house.
Yeah.
And these idiots come running out, waving their guns at them for no reason at all.
And that's why the conflagration took place, is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe that's not the word I'm looking for.
Well, I mean, nothing happened. They're just raising money off of the fact that they were out there defending their house against Black Lives Matter.
Hey, everybody, cool it. We have broads here now. You know.
I love you, Alex.
Yeah, I love you too, sweetie.
Broads, huh?
Yeah, what?
Broads, huh? So it's illegal to post pictures of money on
Not
the
according to
internet?
Google.
Yeah, no, from what I know, if you ever look at money in movies as an example, they never use real bills. They use fake money, and the reason they
Right.
use fake money is you're not supposed to photograph currency.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I Googled it, and Google says it's fine.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I looked it up when you said that, and it said
Yep, all times
The,
times may have changed.
the
Yeah.
federal government says it's fine too,
Yeah.
as long as you're not making photocopies of it.
Yeah, as long as you're not making photocopy. You can't copy the
Right.
money.
You can take a picture
Why-
and
why
say,
don't
"Look,
they-
look, Grandma sent me this $100 bill on Zoom."
Why,
And
why don't they let people make photocopies? I mean, come on. Does
That's what my
photocopy
tax
really look like money?
They do.
Yeah, some copies
It's
are.
Depends
the
on the
paper
copier.
that gives it
Software.
away.
Oh, I see. Okay.
some of the software is pretty good out there.
You know what really pissed me off? Once I'm in a store and I give the person a $20 bill, and the guy looks at it and he says,
Yeah.
it's counterfeit. I went, really? He said, yeah, it is. And I said, well, give it back to me and I'll give you a real one here, you know. And he said, I can't give it back to you. I said, why can't you give it back to me? He said, anytime you get counterfeit, we got to turn it over to the banks or turn it over to the cops or something like that. I'm George Floyd, ladies and gentlemen. I'm George Floyd. What?
That seems like stealing $20 from you.
Well, but,
Yeah.
but they're not. It's counterfeit, so they're not stealing $20 from me.
But how would you know?
Yeah, how do you know?
But I wanted to keep it so I could just show my friends my counterfeit bill. You know.
Totally.
Oh, like Charlie's saying, how do you know it's really counterfeit? They could just
Exactly.
oh, look at this old man. Oh, this is counterfeit. Sir. Sorry, we
Well,
have to
I
take
think
this.
he showed me
Yep.
how it was counterfeit. He said, "Feel the paper," and I went, "Yeah, you're right. I could tell the difference." You know.
Oh, okay.
And how did they make that bill?
What do you mean? How they make it?
How did they make it?
I don't know. Maybe they sat
Enough
there.
to
Maybe
fool
they
the people?
maybe they sat there with a
Oh.
pen and ink and did it and drew it themselves. I
Is it
don't
possible
know.
they used a copier to make that?
They may
Yeah.
have.
It's possible, yeah.
So we answered your question.
No, you
Right.
didn't.
Sure.
No,
you
you
said, do they have copiers that'll make that?
Hmm?
Charlie
Then,
and I said
moisten, spray the paper down, throw it in the dryer with a couple towels. Not that I've done that.
Keep talking.
yes.
No,
So
my little brother did. This was back in '81 when back in my day, I'm old, you dittoed stuff.
Mm.
His teacher gave them this money, and man, my brother got so many gifts because we were able to, I don't know. Anyway,
counterfeit money.
totally dittoed money.
I like the way you just threw your brother under the bus.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, yeah. So but funny, I was told the other day by one of our callers to the Monday show that they had seen the Woody Allen film that's never been released in this country, which is called something's Festival. Hold on a second. I think I wrote it down here somewhere. Is this it? Oh yeah, Rifkin's Festival. And so I went online and found it and watched it. The first minute of the film, there's Bobby Slayton.
Oh,
Clayton?
Slayton. That was the film that Woody flew him all the way to San Sebastian to be in. And he's got one line. That's it. One line. He's in and out. I wrote him tonight and I said, I just saw you in the film. He says, how'd you see it? I said, I laid my hands on the film. And he just has one line. It's the very beginning of the film. He, in fact, is so much in the beginning of that film that he is third billed in the credits because they do it
Wow.
in order. His films, always it's in order of appearance.
Chronological order.
Yeah, so he's the third in appearance. And he doesn't even have a name. It's like festival goer, I think.
Bobby Slayton.
Yeah.
Did he make money?
Well, he made money. He gets paid for it, And they flew him to San Sebastian, and they said, "This is how bad things are now for Woody lately." They said, he said to them, "Well, if you're flying me over, it's going to be a one-day shoot. Can I stay there for about 3 days, 4 days?" And they said, "Only if you pay for the hotel, because we're on a very
Wow.
strict budget." So he went over did like 3 days over there, 4 days, and just hung out, But it must have, huh?
Oh,
What?
sorry.
Well, no. Bobby and Woody had a mutual friend, and it was a friend who put him up in his apartment house whenever Bobby would come to town. And the guy happened to get busted about the time he was over there with Woody. And, of course, the person who introduced this guy to Bobby in the first place was Woody. So he said, "How do you feel about your friend getting busted?" His friend was a guy by the name of, let me see if I can remember it.
Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein was the guy's name. And
They're flying him to California now, extraditing him on charges here too.
Who? Jeffrey Epstein?
Isn't that the guy that?
No.
Yep.
Jeffrey
Oh,
Epstein.
yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide.
Oh, okay. Well, forget him. then.
Yeah.
Suicide.
Thank you,
Suicide.
Brian. I
Yeah.
like you.
Now the side chat is no longer going after you and me, Alex. Now it's after Kathleen.
Yes, good.
What are they
That's
saying?
not a complaint. That's a compliment.
They
She's a
said,
card.
Yeah.
card. You're a
Thank
card.
you.
Compliment.
What type of card is a compliment?
She's a card.
She's an ace of diamonds.
I'm
What?
funny.
Haven't you ever heard the term card?
No.
Oh.
You never
Oh,
used
yeah.
it as an insult.
Well, then
God.
I understand why you think Jeffrey Epstein is still alive.
You're a card too, Alex.
I'm a card. I like to be a card.
I've never heard the term.
Well, it's a rather old term.
An old timey term.
So I would assume that, let's see here. You're a card.
Tell that person thank you.
Tyson's Acosta is the person who said it.
Oh yeah.
Aw,
real
thank
winner.
you, Tyson.
The 14-year-old that's on the chat.
Come on.
Yeah. But, well, did you put this up, Brian? Now it's 8:01?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I put it's 8:00.
Yeah.
And I said now it's 8:01. Then I said now it's 8:02.
Yeah, you're counting the time the Phil was still on,
Getting into
right?
our
Yeah.
time. This is
That's
our
right.
time.
Oh, it's
Our
okay, well.
Thank you, Brian.
Go ahead, do something with
And then,
it.
then it's like 7:59, and then he starts talking about the bombings or something. He always talks about something really, really big at the end of the time. He knows.
Yeah.
But it's your time.
Oh no, the card has her hand up.
Oh, yes. Yes, card.
Okay, funny story. So I make a stained glass window for Alex.
Oh, you did,
And it
didn't
says
you?
Alex Bennett. This was years before I knew Alex. So I make him this stained glass window and I present it to him on the show. And I'm in the studio. And who's sitting next to me? Fucking Bob Rubin and Bobby Slayton. And I was like, okay, here's your window. You know, I love you. I love your show. I'm going to go. And you're like, no, stay. And I was like, fuck. And Bobby Slayton goes, sit now. It was the funnest show. Bob Rubin on one side and Bobby Slayton on the other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was great. You know, they were both very nice. I mean, we had so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then years later, I hook up with Alex and I go, you know, I gave you something like 8 years ago.
Yeah, and she mentioned the stained glass window, and I seem to remember that I had stuck it over in a corner somewhere, right?
Yep.
And I said, is this it? And she went,
Yep.
yeah. And I felt so vindicated because I hadn't lost it, you know.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't have cared. I mean, come on, Alex. You were Alex Bennett. I can only imagine the thousands of things fans gave you.
I used to be a big shot.
You were.
Used
When
to
I
give
was
them
17
expired this and expired that.
When I was 17,
Come on.
when I was 17, I went to Alex's studio and I said, "Hi, Alex," and he said, "Fuck you, kid, leave me alone."
Did I really say that? No. Although Slayton tells the story about how he first met me outside of Max's Kansas City here in New York, and he was a fan who kept calling the show all the time, right?
Oh, really?
Wow.
Well, we used to have trivia contests, and he and his friend, they call themselves the Yonkers Zonkers or something, would come on, and they would join in on the trivia contest. Anyway, so he meets me. He sees me outside of Max's Kansas City, ready to go in, and he says, "Hi, I'm Bobby. I'm a big fan." And I went, "Thanks," and I just walked right in. I just snubbed him completely. All right. So now it's years later. He's a comic in San Francisco, and we get to know each other. And he says, "You know, you snubbed me at Max's Kansas City years earlier." So, you know, be nice to everybody that you meet up with, you know.
Oh, my parents adored you. Remember coming to my parents' house?
Boy,
It
were you
wasn't even
brainwashed.
finished. The living room was concrete, and we were sitting on the mantle.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents had borrowed chairs from the Gualala Hotel. And that's when my mom did the ugly yawn, and we just lost it. But, you know, it was great.
What do you mean,
And then
what do you mean
my-
the ugly yawn?
So it was
What's an ugly-
Katie, my brother Mike, who worked at
Yeah.
ILM, and you. So you guys were talking
Yeah.
CGI shop. And so it was my mom and I were kind of talking, and my mom did this yawn. Fuck, it was ugly. It was when you try and hide a yawn.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of letting your mouth, she went. And I looked at her and I go, "What the fuck was that?" And that was it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a wrap.
But anyway, so also Tyson Acosta says you're a hoot.
She's not a bird. Leave her alone.
And it wasn't insulting Kathleen. I was complimenting her.
Oh no!
And I'm
tell
not
them
14,
thank
I'm
you.
58. That's where he got card from. He's
Oh, I
58.
see. 58. God, what an
Thank
idiot
you.
for 58.
Oh God, come on, Alan. Now you wonder what people start.
I don't
ragging on you
care.
on-
The guy's always capping on me. I'm just getting back at him. I'm not, you know.
Tyson Acosta doesn't.
He doesn't go after you.
Yeah, he does.
No,
No, he
tell them
doesn't.
Thank
Oh, he's a
you.
good guy.
Thank
You want me to
Tyson.
send you
Thank you
the
sincerely.
pictures of it?
What?
You want me? I did screenshots when these people.
You take
Yeah,
screenshots?
Tyson Acosta
Wait a
wasn't
minute, wait a
one
minute,
of
wait a
them.
minute. Hold on a second. Let me
Yes,
get
he
this
was.
straight. You have so big an ego that you take screenshots of insults in a chat room about you?
Absolutely.
I thought you claimed that it didn't bother you when they talked about you.
Doesn't bother me.
You gotta see his basement. He probably has all those up there with the yarn going to Tysus to everybody.
Yeah. This is the.
And he's gonna take everybody out on the show, and then we find out his basement. He was a quiet guy. Alan was very quiet.
Yeah. Hmm.
Funny guy. You're a funny guy, Brian.
There he is, actually.
Remember, he has a gun.
It is. I like
I'm a card.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kathleen and I are a couple cards.
it. Yep. Couple card, couple hooters.
See, nobody calls this
Couple
program.
hooters. No, you're the couple hooters.
Nobody calls this program anymore. Yeah.
There were.
Well,
wonder
remember
why.
I did. I used to call because I didn't want to be on camera.
You didn't call
Remember?
because you didn't want to be on camera. Yeah.
Yeah, I called in for like 3 years, and you were like Skype.
Yeah. Well, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people who used to call the old Skype thing sometimes wouldn't have a camera. They would just do the audio Skype, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But,
I mean,
huh?
somebody on the side chat last week said the show's like watching paint dry.
I agree.
What you want?
I agree. I have no energy anymore. So I
The
put
Monday
nothing
show,
into
the
it.
Monday show, there's like 10 people watching, if that.
Yeah.
But we all have a good time. Screw everybody
but
else.
You know something?
Exactly.
But then I
Yep.
take that show, and I put it on YouTube, okay, and I get a lot of people on that Monday show. So it's really strange. It's kind of a strange thing that is so much. It's so good, you know. But
It's
then,
fun.
yeah. Oh, it's a
But
real
you know
fun
what?
show.
Who cares who watches it? I mean, for us, you know, I wouldn't have met all these people.
Yeah.
You know something?
I mean, come
that's
on.
wait a minute. To me, that's the downside.
No, that's the plus side.
Would you have thought I would ever get married?
Do you really want to meet Al?
She met her husband on this show. Come on, you guys.
Oh
Tony!
yeah, her husband Tony. Yeah, yeah. How's the marriage going, by the way, there, Kathleen? Is it okay?
Right.
Huh?
Where is he now?
He's at home. Or at
But-
Chinks.
By the way,
I think
I'm so sorry.
my grandfather used to say the same thing. He used to always say, "Why are you always dating these slant-eyed girls?"
anybody here watch?
Oh, God.
Anybody watch the Harley Quinn animated series? It's on
Oh, my
HBO
son
Max
did.
now, and it's really
He liked
terrific.
it.
If you don't, I've never been crazy about a lot of these animated things they do, but this thing is terrific. It's funny. It's
He said it's excellent.
gut busting funny.
Yes.
But they've got a problem now. They had an episode that's been banned or not okayed by DC.
oh, yeah.
In which Batman and Harley Quinn
Yep.
are making love, and he goes
Yep.
down on her.
Batman doesn't eat
And
pussy. I
He
read
went to
that.
the
And they
Batcave.
said no, superheroes don't eat pussy.
I'm sorry.
That was really what it amounted
Yeah.
to. Yeah,
Batman.
yeah. So
Circle slash.
I would have liked to have seen Harley Quinn get it on with Batman. Jeez, you know. Yeah. Too bad.
Shame.
Yeah.
There is
shame.
nothing wrong with eating pussy.
Yes. So we are at a 70% inoculated, vaccinated here in New York.
35%.
Huh?
I said Texas is 35%.
Really? Oh.
Oh my
Really?
God.
You only have another 35% to catch up with everybody else. You know, I mean,
We're all gonna die.
well, the thing
Oh,
is that we
no.
just opened everything up here because we've hit herd
We've been
immunity.
open since January.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean,
Exactly.
but for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, we're open here in Texas. Yeah, right. An open festering sore is what you are in Texas.
Herd immunity is a joke.
No, it isn't.
Sure. So what happens when
Better.
you live in a city like I live near San Francisco? We have foreigners that come in that rather can't get the COVID vaccine or have not got it, and our herd immunity goes out the window.
Well, it has nothing. No, the herd immunity doesn't stop there.
The
You
more
know.
people you vaccinate, the safer it is.
The
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
people, it's basically the more, when you get over a certain point in vaccinations, you have a certain level of safety you didn't have before. Okay. So that the question really is who gets infected here? Who gets infected are the people who haven't gotten the vaccination thus far. But the people who've been vaccinated are all pretty safe to just hang out and be anywhere they want to. And if they're with unvaccinated people, it doesn't matter because they're protected. So if 70%, so if 70% are in that category, you've created a certain level of immunity that you wouldn't otherwise have. So, you know.
Sounds good,
But they had fireworks tonight here
You're
in New
right,
York.
Jeff. It sounds good, but it's not correct.
What? What's
just-
not correct?
Sounds
You
correct,
just
but
said.
it's not good.
Where I live, they claim that 85% of the people who live here have already been injected
In your community?
in my community,
Oh, okay.
right?
Good.
And so now that the other way is to say, well, 15% are not. It's a substantial amount. Now, the next thing is at one time, people who were inspected were allowed to go inside the little building that they have, you know. You can play cards, you can go to the pool, whatever. Or you can exercise, whatever. All the equipment. Then they said, well, everybody who comes in has to be like certified, and you got to prove it. And somebody's going to stand there inspecting the place and making sure that everybody who's coming is okay. That was a week ago. Now, anybody can come in. They should wear a mask if they're not effective.
But if 85% are vaccinated, then the chances of somebody who has COVID coming in and encountering somebody that hasn't been vaccinated are just very small.
You know how I
That's
feel.
why you still have the herd.
I understand that, but if you're sitting there playing cards with 8 people and you're sitting next to the 2 guys who have not been injected,
then they're going to be infecting each other, but not you.
Not.
Well, no, I mean, but he could have it and infect the other 2.
Who could
But
have?
we're talking about 85. You got 8 people. Only one of the people.
All we're saying here is, yes, the people who aren't vaccinated are subject to getting COVID. My feeling, fuck them.
No, you know what it's called? Let's see, BHFT, boohoo for them syndrome. If they didn't get vaccinated.
Yeah. I mean, we worked very hard here. We did our part to get ourselves to 70% vaccination rate. If you don't want to be vaccinated, you're simply, you're simply jumping in on our party. You're coming to our party.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get vaccinated, you're taking a chance of getting, like today. How many people died today, Charlie? I don't see.
What was that?
How many people?
335 died. It pushed us over the 600,000 mark.
So if 335 people died, that's 335 dead people. Okay,
Yeah.
Those are people who didn't get vaccinated. And I'm sure the ones that died today or yesterday died as a result of not being vaccinated because the vaccine has been around for quite a while now. It's been around long enough that those people would have never gotten it. So these are people.
There are some that are dying from the Delta variant from India who have been vaccinated.
if you've been vaccinated, if you've had your second,
they have other health issues.
Well, if you've had your second vaccination,
both.
No, second vaccination. In other words,
they're fully.
I haven't seen that.
No, they said that you're immune against the Delta as well.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
That's not what
Well,
I.
no,
What
that-
happens
that's what I
when
heard.
what
I heard that
happens
tonight
when
on-
another what happens when another mutation happens that the vaccine doesn't work? We all go back to lockdown and masks again. And it's the people that are not getting vaccinated that are going to cause it.
Boy, what a joy kill you are.
I know.
Or
I mean,
killjoy.
listen,
Excuse me, I mean killjoy.
The Delta variant. If you're vaccinated and you get the Delta variant, I mean, it's going to be a sale.
If you've had your the second inoculation,
it's not going to affect you very much.
I saw tonight
You'll
on
be
the
good.
news on the CBS News tonight. They said the Delta variant is being held back by people who've had two shots. They're full. In other words, they've just had one, a chance that Delta could get them. Second one, no.
Yeah.
So, and that I saw that tonight on the news. I didn't hear it wrong.
Let's get past the Delta variant and go to the next variant, variant E or 7 or whatever you want to call
Well,
it.
it could be
Delta,
it could be that what this will do is prevent those variants from catching on. However, what it also may do is if it still could catch on, it may have you get it, but not in the strength that would kill you.
They don't know that.
But a lot of companies are jumping ahead on this, just like our company. We're already we're already doing a test for Plus that's coming out, and we're jumping on this because we know there's a window there that we can make more money. Oh,
You
sorry.
know, it's
Save
just
more
gonna
lives.
be
Sorry. I forgot. Save more lives.
It's going to be just like the 1918 flu.
What? Just like the 1918 flu?
No, I mean, it's everyone's, 90% of the population's going to get inoculated.
Well, no,
So
but
it's probably going to be just a seasonal thing.
but there was no vaccination against the Spanish
That's
flu.
right.
No.
That's right. How did they get rid of it, Kathleen? Do you know?
People started wearing everybody wore masks.
Exactly.
Everybody
People
wore
started
masks.
wearing masks, and it ran its course.
That's right.
If you wear masks,
But also,
COVID could have done the same thing. We
Yeah.
don't know.
Yep.
Also, it's easier to tweak the vaccine once a new variant comes out. It's not as hard as coming up with a whole new vaccine.
But now you got to vaccinate the entire population again, Charlie.
No,
So?
some may need
Give me another shot.
boosters, some may not.
I mean, we were able to do it this time. We
You
could
act
do
like
it
that's
again.
hard.
And the fact of the matter is, probably we're going to have to get another inoculation at the end of about 6 months to keep this one potent. Okay, so I mean that's always a possibility, but every year you go out and get a flu shot. I do.
Yeah.
I go and get the flu shot, and so we may have to every year get a new COVID flu booster, as it were. Yes, yes, Kathleen.
We're not doctors.
Or is it Catherine? Oh, it's Kathleen.
That's my sister. We're not doctors, but we just play doctors on.
Yeah,
Alex.
on TV, on the web.
Yeah, disclaimer.
Well, no, I mean, there's always the possibility this thing could come back, but if it's going to come back, it's going to come back because of the people in this country who aren't getting vaccinated in certain states.
And around the world, and those people are
Yeah.
coming into our country for business and pleasure.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
Maybe we can have another concert. Vaccine aid.
So
vaccine-
There you go.
in virology, if we were able to stop the COVID dead in its tracks around the world, it wouldn't have another chance to mutate. But we can't. A lot of the world is not vaccinated like we are, and so we will not get to herd immunity until the world is truly
I think we can get to a point of herd immunity here in this country if we would just all get vaccinated.
It would certainly help.
And
That's for sure.
And if you're not going to get vaccinated, wear a fucking mask.
I think I know how the Republic.
But the same people, it's funny, the same people who don't want to wear masks are the same people who don't want the vaccine.
Right.
That's what's strange about it.
So how
You know what? That's why gonadism is down.
Gonadism is down. Yeah. Hypogonadism.
So I think the way to resolve the voting problems that the Republicans love to seem to screw with is all they got to do is make a policy that if you don't wear a mask, you can't vote. The Democrats
listen, I don't really care, but they should have like Republican voting places, okay, where they can give it to each other. I mean, here's how
are they going to give it to each other?
Here's how stupid Trump was. He didn't think that if he didn't get people to take vaccinations or he didn't have them wear masks or whatever, that the basic people who are going to get killed are Republicans. They're the anti-vaxxers. I'm not a Republican. I stayed home for that year and a half. I didn't leave the house, I sprayed my packages with Lysol every time they would come in,
Lucky you could find
I
it.
worked at Costco. I put my life on the line for all of you.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. You're a card.
Thank you.
Whatever a card is.
I couldn't believe that just before the panic when the Costco, all the racks were empty. I took pictures of that. I'm like, unbelievable. I've never seen that.
Right.
I worked in their refrigerated building, so we were in 38 degrees for.
I have so much toilet paper.
So you,
I have so much toilet
the
paper.
highest risk.
I have so much toilet paper in this house.
That was the building next door. We felt bad for them. We were laughing, going, "Man, nobody's hoarding ice cream." freaking, frozen this, frozen that, but boy, in the other building, water and toilet paper. Oh my God, you guys are fucked.
So during the winter, the COVID virus is related to cold type viruses, and they're expecting to see another surge when the fall happens.
You know what we didn't have this winter? We didn't have colds. Colds.
No.
And flus.
And flus. Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah.
I saw an article today that's saying that COVID is now becoming a Republican disease because all of the Democratic-controlled states are getting vaccinated, and the Republican-controlled states aren't. So COVID is accelerating in Republican states.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
and look
totally
at you
right.
guys. You guys, how are things doing in Texas? Is it?
But plus, they're not reporting the real numbers either. I mean, Texas is not.
Why
doing
would they?
Yeah.
California is one of the lowest in the country.
Yes, yes, Catherine.
Snooty. Charlie, what does your shirt signify?
That is a statement by Stephen Hawking. It says, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change.
Fucking awesome.
Good idea.
Okay.
From
T-shirts.
Stephen F. Hawking.
Oh, he's got the best shirts.
Is
Yeah.
Stephen
I told my
Hawking the
dad
really
Charlie
smart
has the
guy
best
that was a quadriplegic or something like that?
Yeah, he's in the wheelchair because he had Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I'm going to go to Georgia on Saturday.
Are you really? Why?
Yeah, well, my sister's having surgery.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to spend 3 weeks with her.
Well, our Monday show has a caller from down there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She has a fan club.
She does have a fan club. She has gotten quite a fan club.
Are you going to be calling us while you're down there, Jeff?
Yeah, I'll call her on the Monday call.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. Yes. Kathleen.
Jeff, what is behind the French doors?
Frenchman,
Ooh,
what do you
wouldn't
I'm
think?
just one of those people.
It is pool and tennis courts.
Okay.
Come on. I'm
Behind
simple.
that.
Yeah. So
I think it's on a tour.
It's where the Playboy channel was
Yeah,
filmed.
exactly. Brian did.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff. You
By
can
the
tell
way-
us it's where the Playboy channel's filmed.
Did anybody see?
No.
Did anybody see the interview with Putin that NBC did?
Oh, no.
Pretty poor reporter doing that. The interview wasn't that good because I don't think the interviewer was that good. But it's interesting, and I've seen this with Putin before because I can't remember who did an interview with Stone. Oliver Stone did an interview with Putin. Do you remember that way back when?
Yeah.
And what I found then with Putin and what I found out with him now is how much he knows about American history.
Yep.
He's very aware of American history. He's very aware of American politics.
Very smart.
He knows the
He's a
Senate.
very smart guy.
He knows the Congress. He knows the relationship between the two of them.
Yep.
And he even brought up Black Lives Matter in this interview.
Wow.
And saying that, well, if it happened here and it was violent, we'd do
We
something.
would kill him.
We do something
Totally.
about it. But, the way they're doing it, they seem to be rather handling it okay. In other words, it was kind of an interesting interview, but I couldn't get through the whole thing because this interviewer was so bad. And then the whole thing it had to be translated as they went along, And what's funny about it is Putin could do the interview without a translator.
Yeah, he speaks
He
English.
speaks perfect
Oh,
English,
totally.
but he doesn't want to.
He's a smart guy. Trump thought that he was friends with Putin. Putin was using Trump like a
Playing
puppet.
him like a well-tuned violin.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trump was an idiot to think that this guy was using Trump because they were friends. Once Trump was out of office, Putin lost Trump's phone number. Doesn't need them anymore. Goodbye.
Well, the other thing about Putin is that Putin knew with him the one way in which you get him in the palm of your hand, and that's by complimenting him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And pretending like you're his pal.
Yep.
Alex, you look so nice tonight. By the way, the light really reflects you well.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
I was just being sarcastic. That's all.
What do you
Oh,
mean?
what a prick. Get rid of him.
What's wrong with the lighting tonight?
No, you're
No,
fine,
he's saying
Alex.
that he compliments them to make him feel good. So
Fuck it.
To get him
Here we go.
No. Go back to the other one.
I don't need the
Now you
lights.
look like
oh my
you're
god,
not
don't do that one.
I don't
I
need
like
the
the other
lights.
lighting better. I wish
The other
I
lighting
Remember
better.
when I used to read you your horoscope?
Did you?
right
Oh,
after
yeah.
sex.
I'd read mine, and then you'd go read mine, and it was me, my career. Do you think they're gonna fire me? Do you think it's cancer? Me.
Yeah.
What's
Yep.
new?
That was
You know,
me.
Kathleen, nothing has changed.
That's right.
You should compare notes with Marjorie. She'll probably just go along with what you just said.
Oh my god!
Even back then, he was worried about cancer.
No, wait a minute. What is wrong
Yeah,
with my?
he was a high contract.
Hold on a
Do you
second.
think I would let Alex
Nothing
die?
wrong.
I mean, for fuck's sake!
What is wrong with my lighting?
No, I was
Nothing.
just joking.
Nothing.
He was kidding you. There's
We were
nothing.
talking about Putin complimenting Trump.
There's nothing wrong with your lighting, Alex. It looks good.
My lighting.
He was
bad.
just giving you. He was giving you a compliment.
Yeah.
God
It's
knows.
like you said, Putin did to Trump. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, so
What are you eating, Brian?
Like pizza
Brian
rolls.
always is eating.
Always eating.
Grapefruit. Oh, grapefruit.
Oh,
Oh.
very good.
Good for you.
Hey, I'm
One of
not
the few
freezing
people
up
on the
tonight.
show that's not on blood pressure medicines and can't.
By the way, I found the fruit of the gods.
Grapefruit.
I love the fruit of the gods. I have decided that the best food that you can eat, if you're especially on a low carb diet, avocados,
Oh yes.
because they
Yeah.
not only do they taste good, not only are
fat.
they rich in all kinds of good things for you, but they also work as a what do you call it?
Antioxidant.
A hunger inhibitor.
Oh.
Yeah, and they also lower your metabolism, or raise your metabolism.
Raise your metabolism.
Yeah.
If I took
Yep.
They are
avocado out
maybe-
and put my girlfriend in, that would
That's
work
why
too.
they're so expensive.
What?
So that's why they're so
I don't know that
expensive.
they're that expensive.
No.
I get a bag of them for $5.
Costco.
Not in Texas.
Costco's are really good.
$5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
You know what else is good? Beets. So I used to take supplements before I would bodybuild. So now I take beets, and what it does is it opens up all your blood vessels. So you get bigger pulls,
Wow.
and it's all natural.
Yeah,
Beets are
Russians
what?
swear by beets. That's what
Yep.
borscht is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I don't like beets. I hate
Yeah,
beets.
neither do I.
Oh,
The only way I like beets is borscht. And then I love it, but not with the beets in it, but strained. And then you take
You like
take,
the beet
Wait a minute.
juice.
You know what you do? You take cold, you cool borscht down so where it's cold, really cold, and then you pour it into a bowl, and on top of it you put in a hot potato in there, and then cover that with some sour cream, and you got your. Am I right, Jeff?
I know about it. I've seen it. I've seen all kinds of people eat it. I don't trust it.
What do you mean you don't trust it?
I don't like
and
it.
I respect you. You're so honest.
Well, you know what it is? I'll tell you why I like it. Because my mother used to make it, and whatever your parents made for you when you were
Yeah.
growing up is comfort food.
Yeah,
Like
liver and onions for
what my
me.
mother made that I've learned how to make myself and that I love, and I think I used to make it for you, Schmoody, was tripe,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is the inner lining of a cow's stomach.
Yep. It's like menudo.
Well, it is menudo. That's
It
another
is.
name for it. And what you do is you make it, and then you cook it in the sauce, and when you're through it, it has an interesting
It's just
texture.
like chicken.
No, you know what it is? Certain foods we eat for texture.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the reason we like pasta is because of the texture of pasta, not because there's any real taste of pasta. It's just, you know, the flour, whatever. What we eat it for is the way it cuts the tooth, you know, and so in the case of tripe, I eat it for the texture. The texture is wonderful. Honeycomb
cook it
tripe,
for-
oh, just the best.
I don't make shake and bake. My mother used to do shake and bake chicken all the time.
Well,
of course,
that's cowardly. What you do is you just take flour and you coat the chicken with it. You don't need shake and bake.
yeah. Well, she
Well,
also
you
needed
know what?
to have
It's
the oven on
like-
a little higher.
It's like in Mexico. It's like tacos de lengua, tongue, or tacos
Oh,
de
I love.
sesamo.
Oh, there's another
Brain.
one. There's another one I love.
Oh, cow's
folks.
tongue is great.
Already, tongue
It
is
is.
terrific.
Boiled cow's tongue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Anybody here like cow's tongue? Anybody like
Oh,
tongue?
yeah.
What kind of a Jew are you, Jeff?
No shit, huh?
A smart.
I
Jew.
like Spanish food.
No, but I mean, well, the tongue is a Spanish
tapas?
dish. What?
Yeah.
Tapas. Okay. Tongue on tapas. There you go.
Yeah, of course.
But tongue is terrific. I love a tongue sandwich.
So, when you make,
I'm not going to go any
Right.
further with that.
how do you do it like for 24 hours?
No,
Put it-
no. You just cook it. It takes about a couple hours, you know, and you put it in kind of like a tomato broth, and you just let it cook, and you throw in some carrots, a few things like that, and it's really terrific.
Yep.
But you have to cut it in strips, so it comes out in strips, and it's really good. I mean, it's terrific. I loved it. I love tongue, because my mother used to also serve tongue.
I think we were thought you were talking about Schmoody's tongue.
Well, I won't get into that.
That was a no.
No.
We'll leave it to your imagination.
Yeah. Alex was.
But a fine tongue it was.
There you go.
I did not dislike her tongue,
Okay, good.
and she
There we
didn't
go.
dislike mine either when I made it for dinner. Okay, so
Thank you.
Ate your tongue for dinner. That was good. Okay.
yeah, no, but tongue it's really good. If you go into any delicatessen here in New York, you can get tongue on a sandwich.
Yeah.
Any Jewish delicatessen, especially.
There isn't any other kind of delicatessen now.
Well, on the West Coast, that's the only place you're going to find tongue.
No, but I mean, all delicatessens, Jewish delicatessens.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, it's not a delicatessen because to begin with, where does the word derive itself from? Essen, to eat. Yiddish for eating, Essen, and it's a delicatessen.
So the Arab delicatessens that are in my neighborhood here, those
They
are
don't
Jewish.
have Arab delicatessens. And they don't have Italian delicatessens. They're called pizza parlors.
Yeah.
You know.
That was humor.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. Boy, I get no respect on this show, right, Brian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I quit too.
Yeah. So how was your weekend with the kids?
But next weekend, next weekend's Father's Day. We're going over to my friend's house Saturday, but then Sunday we're going to Great America. No masks.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Yeah, you still have to reserve a spot, so we still had to go in line. But we did this a couple weeks ago for Father's Day, so we still have to reserve. But then, so they have limited people going in, but then no mask. Yeah.
I think in spite of the fact that we're now on the other side of this COVID pandemic, I still think we're going to adhere to some rules. I know that I'm not
Oh,
going.
absolutely.
I'm not going to a movie theater anytime soon.
Nope.
If nothing more, because I got used to not going to movie theaters, and I don't have to put up with people kicking the seat in back of me. And I can watch all those movies here.
Do you make your own popcorn?
Oh yeah.
Costco,
Yeah.
Costco popcorn. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do they have those recliner seats in your theaters?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I think they put those in most theaters now. I think that it's become a kind of almost. Am I right? Most theaters have installed those now.
Yeah.
Remember the hours I used to work and I would fall asleep on you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially during sex. Dum.
No, good God. The movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh! I missed that part. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was one of those people who couldn't stay awake in the movie. Well, Marjorie's that way. Marjorie's that
Yeah.
way. Best way to get her to get a nap, go to a movie.
Have you ever thought that it
You
might
know?
be you that they're falling asleep to?
No.
No, but I mean,
Marjorie.
You're so relaxed in those chairs.
Yeah, exactly.
The chairs
Come
are
on.
pretty comfortable.
Alex has some good energy.
well, no, the reason I would rather she fall asleep watching a movie at home rather than a movie theater is something like $50.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, because when we go to a movie, we go to the 3D movie, and it's like between the two of us, seniors, it comes to
Damn.
$45.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it costs us about $12 each way to go back and forth to before we're through. We spent with the popcorn and everything. We spent
Yep.
$80 to go to a movie,
Right.
and then it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
You know?
complain about spending all that money on the tennis channel.
I mean, they should have an anti-suck guarantee. If the movie sucks and you don't like it, you get your money back.
Get your
You know,
Pop-
yes,
Yep.
Kathleen.
I'm talking about the press screenings.
Oh, the
Remember?
press screenings, yeah.
Yes.
Well, we used to go
Those were fun.
we went to the press screenings.
Yeah, you, me, Michael.
I don't think we very seldom ever paid for a movie.
Never.
Yeah.
You went to the theater. You went up there and said, "I'm Alex Bennett." The guy says, "Come on in."
No, man, he was Alex Bennett.
I was Alex
I know,
Bennett.
I get it.
No, wait a minute. Let's get this straight. I used to be Alex Bennett.
Okay.
Fucking A, we'd be walking towards the theater and people would be saying all, woo! It was surreal.
They were
I was
talking
like,
about. They
wow.
were looking at you, Kathleen, and go, "Woo!"
No,
No.
no, 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 no.
You've
no.
never-
I remember when Alex Bennett was here in San Francisco. He was somebody very important.
No. The most surreal thing for me was walking down the street with Alex. You know, I'm 6 foot, Alex 6'1", and then Buddy Love 6'4" on the other side of me in his fucking suit. And we're walking down the street, and I looked at both of them and I said, fuck, I can't believe this shit's happening.
Yeah, a lot of tall people. That's for damn
Yeah.
It
sure.
was. I mean, but you know, everybody was so down to earth. I was very hip to the hanger-oners.
Yeah.
You know, it's just fascinating to see all the bullshit that went beyond behind
Well,
the
I
scenes.
like those hanger-oners because they kissed my ass, and I like that. Anyway, Brian, good seeing you again tonight, pal. Anytime. I'm glad some of you showed up tonight. This is a very small group tonight, but it was a good group. Alan, thank you so much. Thank you so much to the lovely and attractive Charlie Wallace. Jeff, always good having you here. And, of course, the lovely and attractive Schmoody, better known as Catherine. Anyway.
My sister.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody, why don't you give a big wave goodbye, and we'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Let me just get rid of them. By the way, Jack Bishop is next with The Intersection. He's going to be here doing that on Skype, and you call Gabnet Live. That's the Skype ID for you to call for his show. We'll see you tomorrow night at, I think it's 8:30. The sports show is on. And then after the sports show, at 10:30, I'll be right back here. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, be sure you get inoculated, okay? And if not, wear a mask. But to the rest of you, have fun in the new non-pandemic times in some of the states we live in. Good night, everybody. See you later.